Welcome back to Valley Boys TCG, CK here, and we're continuing some more Battle Spirit Saga with our run with our White Control, White Tiger build. I'm playing this round against my buddy Josh here, who's our resident Star Dragon player. So he's actually not quite playing Star Dragon, he's playing a different version, kind of like an Awaken Dragonoid blend. It's a very interesting build. See that he's got some green in it, very different deck. So we're starting off, we get our Nexus out, we see the Elephant City down, it's good, and we get Chameleon Whip. Now this Chameleon is so good. Through playing this deck, I've realized how much I really like this red spirit. He is such a good control spirit, definitely affects things. I ended up winning me round 1. The round before this one, we went to time at the end of round 2, and so for tiebreakers, we decided to start game 3 in turns. And opening hand, I had Chameleon Whip, which just locked him out, so I could at least do 1 chip damage, and he couldn't chip me back. And just, that's it. That's GG's game 3, because we had Chameleon out, and he wasn't able to do any damage, and we were. So that's how we were able to sneak the 3rd game in round 1. So here we are in round 2, and we're just going to let the Chameleon do his thing, keep chipping while also controlling our life, making sure that our opponent can't attack or can't chip damage us back. Now that does kind of slow down the core ramp, unfortunately, because if you're not taking any damage, you're not ramping any cores, so there is a little bit of trade-off to be considered there. Because as you know, in Battle Spirits, you kind of want to take a little bit of damage because it helps you ramp some cores to be able to do bigger plays later. But because we have Nomengard City already out, we have a White Spirit out that we came for free, and that's one of my favorite combos, is getting the Nexus and then getting to play the Duck for free. And the Duck can just combo off with other things, especially with our Odin type X or the Valkyrie Mist. We get to, well, technically not Valkyrie Mist, actually Duck does not work with Valkyrie Mist because it's an attack step thing, but either way, we have enough reduction for our big spirits as long as we got the Nexus out. So we're sitting good here, and there's actually a very interesting interaction here, because Chameleon is, as long as they don't have a spirit with more, and having our Nexus out with level 2 effect means our Chameleon's even larger on our opponent's turn, which means they have to be at over 6k in order to be able to do any chip damage, which is really going to slow down any sort of aggro decks or anything that goes wide with low-cost spirits. Chameleon can basically shut down yellow and some green decks. Now, green does have the ability to get pretty big, but if it's the Ant deck, per se, that just runs a lot of low tokens, it's really going to slow it down. So, good combo. I think the Chameleon has a great place sitting with the white deck. Very, very good combination here. And so we see here he's got the 10-blade, the big Star Dragon coming down. And honestly, I had not had much interaction with this card before. I didn't realize all that it did and how good it is. But it actually is a very potent draw engine, especially also having Awaken, so that it can just, you can start turn with low cores on it, let your other spirit swing with larger BP, and then Awaken while you're attacking. That way you can get up to level 3, and that way end of attack you draw 2 cards. Really, really good card. Really good draw engine for red. Not that red really needs it. I mean, red has so much draw engine. But we're sitting really pretty here. Because we have the Chameleon, we've been able to do a lot of chip damage. We've already got our opponent down to 2 life at this point, and we haven't taken a single tick of damage. But again, this is also where it's like, well, now we don't have any extra cores to really build up, so we're just gonna have to kind of sit here for a little bit, wait a few turns so we can go up. And because he has that Star Dragon now, we can't really just swing with the Chameleon anymore. So it's a great early turn, but if they get something big out and they're just waiting for you to exhaust that Chameleon, because Chameleon cannot block, so he's just there, he has to swing. But if you can't swing, well, then you're in a weird situation here. So I'm not sure why he's not swinging with the smaller red spirit. Obviously he's going to keep the Star Dragon up in case I try to swing with the Chameleon, so he can just block and pop it. I guess he hasn't also seen any sort of red removal. I guess he would need mechanic. Alright, so we got the Peggy on, so now we have some more defensive pieces, but Peggy's only level 1, so we have to choose whether to I really don't want to take cores off the Nexus because it helps Chameleon, but if we're not going to attack with Chameleon, we don't really need it there, so we're going to go ahead and just core up Peggy so that it can have its effect. And of course, we've got armor with Peggy there, so that's a good thing for us. So we can go ahead and swing in and bait a block here so that if he does block with the larger spirit, we have the ability to then go in with Chameleon anyway. And so he's got to debate what to do here. If that's just an ice shield, I think he just lets it tick and pop the ice shield. And oh no, he does get the block with the larger spirit, so that's going to get rid of Peggy, and that's going to free us up to... Oh, but we have a flash here. In block timing, or block flash step. This could... See, here's an interesting thing. He runs green, so he runs Thorn Prison. But if he Thorn Prisons me, he's gonna exhaust my Chameleon, which puts it online. And here I'm realizing my Chameleon's larger than his smaller spirit there, so we can go ahead and swing with Chameleon so that we can proc that ice shield that I'm pretty sure, and there it is. It is the ice shield. So we get to proc that ice shield, pays to end the turn. And we shortcut, we don't have to remove all the cores. We know he's got enough cores to pay it. So we jump in his turn. He sets another burst, probably another ice shield. And he's going to go ahead and chip in with a smaller spirit because it is large enough. And we have the avalanche. Now, avalanche I think I should have saved for the Star Dragon, but I don't think he was swinging with the Star Dragon, even though he feels he needs to because it does draw. So here we go. He goes ahead and swings. And he's just describing all the effects and what it does. He's able to pop a small spirit there when attacking. So goodbye, Ducky. And oh no, I'm sorry, he doesn't pop the duck. We block with the duck. That's right. I don't know why I thought he destroyed something out of it. That was my mistake. So he pops the we block with the duck. We sacrifice the duck so that we can keep our life going. We can't block with the Chameleon anyway. And then we get another Peggy out. Now we have this one cored up. So we've got a cored up Pegasus. We have a Chameleon we can swing in. So the best thing is just to go ahead. We only have one extra core. There's no really anywhere to need to put it. So we go ahead and swing with the Chameleon so that we can chip damage. Proc another ice shield there. And now we have Chameleon's effect online in case he tries to bring out some other small spirits. And then Peggy, of course, can block something low while exhausted as well. So we're sitting in a pretty position here. Dragno Guard comes back down for one core. Here he sets another Great Tree Gate, which is actually a really good Nexus to fit in red because red kind of goes big, especially with Confront. Basically, if you destroy something and you have higher BP, you get to get a core from the Nexus, so it's a good ramp engine for red since red does like to get big. And he gets to do his Star Dragon. We don't block it, and we finally take a bit of damage, and he's able to draw 2 cards with its level 3 effect. So he's getting his draw engine going. He has a ramp engine built in with 2 of those green Nexuses on board. And he's able to now have 2 reduction for the Thorn Prisons that I'm sure he has in hand. So we get the Odin type. There we go. So really, the Duck needed to stick around for Odin here, but Duck didn't survive. I guess we could have not blocked and been able to leave Duck on board because he would have ramped us here with Odin, but Odin gets this attack in. We bounce a 3 cost there, and then he gets the Thorn Prison, which kind of again works in our favor because now Chameleon is already exhausted and Peggy can block exhausted, but he finally gets his Volcanic Break out to get rid of Chameleon. That's been basically giving him a headache all game, but we've got him down to 1, so we're in a good position, and we do have Odin's effect to restand on his turn, thanks to our having a white Nexus on board. So Scorched Battlefield comes down, another draw engine for him. He's got some good draw and core ramp in this deck, but it's kind of tricky here. And so if he does go white on us, we're in a good position. He only has 1. We still have 4 life, so he has to go really wide. And if he does that, he leaves his spirits basically with low enough cores that our Pegasus is going to be able to block, and then Odin's going to be able to block and bounce that Dragno Guard again. So the big thing here is that we'll restand since we have the Nexus. So what he's going to have to swing basically with the Dragonal Guard first. Then we block with our... Yeah, we'll block with Odin, bounce the Dragonal Guard. Since he does have that Awakened Dragon that restands all Awakened Spirits, he technically does have his 4 attacks here. And the Awakened Spirits are going to move everything around. So he's moving his cores because he knows Dragno's going to get bounced anyway. So he swings with the big spirit. And now he's forcing me to choose whether I want to sacrifice my Odin. We decide to take the damage there. He gets his draw 2. That was probably that was the good play for him to swing with that one, and then goes ahead and swings with the other dragon, waits to see if I'm going to block, and instead we flash in the Dimension Rift so that we can get plus 2k DP on our Odin. But then I forget that, of course, he has Awakened, so he just makes himself bigger that way. And then Thorn prisons me anyway, so that was my mistake. I should have blocked. I should have not flashed until the block step, and I flashed first, basically telegraphing that I'm going to block, and he was able to Thorn Prison before I could block, which meant I could not bounce. And now he restands his board, or restands his other 2, and he can go in for lethal here. So we are forced to flash an Ice Shield from hand to be able to end the turn and survive, because that was not an Ice Shield set. So we should be taking the last damage here, or just resolving any flashes pending. He gets his 2 draws again from that 10 blade dragon. And yeah, we have, okay, now we're in a good position here. We can be able to, I think we need one more spirit just to be on the safe side in case he Thorn Prison or bounces or something. So we need to swing with Odin first to bounce the Dragno Guard. And then he can block with one. We basically need 2 more spirits to be safe in case he has another Thorn Prison. So we get another Odin out. And I guess we're just going to have to hope that he doesn't have a Thorn Prison, because if we swing with one of these and he Thorn Prisons the other 2, we're going to be in a bad situation. So we swing, we bounce the 3-cost spirit back to hand. He'll be forced to block. But he awakens here to get bigger so that he can big boy block and get rid of our Odin. And then he just scoops there because he's like, realizes he didn't have the Thorn Prison in hand, so he couldn't stop what was coming. So move on to game 2. Very close one. We both were chipped down to 1. Really, the early Camellia Whip was really what really helped the deck survive this far. So we see Battlefield come down, and this is my favorite, go second with white. You drop the Nomengard City, which lets you play the duck for free and chip damage. My favorite start for white, and it happens more often than I thought it would. But yeah, great way to start if you're playing white. The duck and Nomengard City and going second, exactly enough cores to get it done. We see that Mogwo, something like that, the Dragonoid Spirit that lets you get 2 cores from the trash when attacking. So a good way to kind of feed the Awaken deck. So if you have some Awakened Spirits on, you get some more. You swing with him first to get him on board. But here we have our turn 2 Nomen City, or Nomengard. So Elephant is on board. Very good all white setup for us right now. He gets another great tree out. He's playing a lot of Nexuses, and a lot of different Nexuses. You really don't see those red starter deck Nexuses too often, except for maybe Scorched here and there. He swings with his big dragon, and instead of trading, he decides to core up, or flash in to make himself larger, and that works for us. We get to get our cores, and we get to get our draws off. Elephant's already off board, and that really pushes us forward in this game. Diamond Sanctuary is down already, so that's a good setup. If we get to see our Tiger, Frost Tiger, will be able to get there now. We have enough cores to get it online. If only we had it in hand. Oh, but it looks like we've got something else. We've got the Armored Dragon Enterprise. And it only needs 2 cores, so we have our double blocker on board. He has nothing to block with, so we can go ahead and swing with the duck, basically. Get another chip damage in, get him low. It's okay that we're essentially ramping him a core because he ramped us 3 by getting rid of our elephant already. So I would say the best thing to do is swing with the duck. We also have our Noman City cored up, so that Enterprise is a pretty big double blocker. So we're sitting pretty here. We got a good little wall here. Our wall is starting, I should say. And he only has 1 spirit on board. He's got to start building some presence. Oh, Ares Dragoon is back out. Here we go. Ares Dragoon's pretty good. It has a lot of reduction if you can get it going, and Burning Force comes down. Of course, he's got to get rid of that Noman City right away to prevent us from getting another elephant, or the city also reduces the Frost Tiger costs as it is a machine beast. So we're just gonna do the double block here, or block once. He sacrifices 1 just to get that core up. And now we have turn. We core up the Sanctuary, so now he can't pop the Sanctuary. Again, red has a lot of Nexus hate, so we got to keep the Sanctuary on board because we're going to need it if we get to our Frost Tiger. Which looks like we don't have it yet. We're going to have to Star Bless draw. And yep, we're going to just core up our spirits. And probably past turn. I don't think we have to do any more damage. He's down to 2. Yes, we want to proc that Ice Shield, but we don't want to swing with Enterprise, and Duck will just die to the block anyway. So there's no reason in going in. We want to keep Enterprise up for blocking purposes. Duradelos comes down, and we got another Dragoon Commander coming in. This one's got a few effects. And he's, this deck isn't his usual Star Dragons deck, and it's a pretty interesting build. It's got a lot of moving parts and combos going on, but it can get a little clunky. So a lot of time is just like he's playing something and I have to read it because I haven't played with these cards or against them. So he's just setting up some blockers essentially at this point. We gotta hope to get something here. Frost Tag would be great right now. Oh, we get the Emperador. So we got our Mecha Monkey coming down. 4x3 reduction, so 1 cost big vanilla coming out. And ooh, we get the Valkyrie Mist. There we go. I point to the duck and then I realized for a second, I was like, oh wait, it's only during combat. So really the duck combos with Dream Bomb, with Avalanche, and with the Odin. Doesn't combo with Valkyrie. So we're gonna swing in the Mecha Monkey because it's a big monkey just to trigger his Ice Shield to hopefully get it out of the way. Hopefully he doesn't have another in hand so that we can kind of get really aggressive next turn. He sets another burst. I don't know if he's faking me there. Josh might be playing mind games because he throws it down like it's not an Ice Shield, like he's sad at what he has to play, but it probably is an Ice Shield. I don't know. The way he sets it, made me feel like it wasn't an Ice Shield. And so really what we need at this point is to kind of just go in, bait the blocks. If it's not an Ice Shield, we can win this turn. If we have another little spirit, we can play something else out. I think that's what we're debating. We have 3 cores to work with. We pain 4, and oh, we get another elephant out. Okay. Elephant comes down. I think we just core it up. In case he does have an Ice Shield, we want that refresh step, so we should probably, yeah, we'll sack the Mist, and we'll let the monkey go down to 1. Level 1. Yep, that makes sense to me. I swing with the duck. I don't think that's the play there. I think I should have swung with elephant. So duck dies. An elephant would have chipped and ended turn. We swing with the monkey. I guess we're just sacrificing our vanilla spirits at this point. I don't think that was the right sequence from me. I think I should have let. Yep, it is an ice shield. Okay, so we proc the ice shield, and we have triple blockers at this point. Elephant and Enterprise twice, and we're armored up. So we have the main components of the white wall here. Got our steel curtain up. Our ice wall is up. So it's going to be very, very hard for him to get through. Unless he Thorn Prisons. I think that's his best play here. He can Thorn Prison us. See another Dragoon come out. I guess he didn't have it in hand. He doesn't have enough. Okay, so it looks like he didn't have the Thorn Prison to really push for lethal. We drop another Nomen City. Okay. Guess we gotta get our blockers a little larger. We get another Iron Monkey on board, and we go ahead and swing in. Oh, we swung in the Enterprise first. Okay, I guess that's okay because he's a very big spirit right now, and we have Elephant to refresh step. So I guess it doesn't matter what we want to swing with the biggest one to make sure that we remove something on board. We're gonna swing with the Elephant here. He's got a. Oh, that's a good play on him because it guarantees. Yeah, I just lost my refresh step. I think that was poorly sequenced on my end. Probably should have swung with Enterprise last to make sure that I had a refresh step. But I think I have an ice shield set, so I think I was feeling pretty good on my chances here. So we just end turn there, so we keep a monkey blocker. And his hand size is very low at this point. It's very weird to think that white has a larger hand size than red in a game because red has so much draw power and it's a great draw engine. White typically doesn't, except for the elephant, but we were able to. I think we had 2 elephants die this game, so that's 6 card draws. So we were able to really get there. So we see him swing in with his dragon there, or Dragoon. Ares goes in. We probably have an ice shield set. Oh no, it's a Dream Bomb. Oh, this is worst case scenario for him because we bounce a Nexus and we bounce the green Nexus to remove any chance of Thorn Prison reduction, and we bounce the other spirit that he was going to attack with. So now he didn't have a blocker. He just scoops for game there. Really fun match. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Come back next time.